The 5'11" freshman from Syracuse, Utah, number 2, Casey Adams. A 6'1" junior from Fullerton, California, number 3, a 6'2" sophomore from Spanish Fork, Utah, number 6, Lauren Gamble. A 5'7" junior from Volleyball, Utah, number 7, the libero, Sid Rodman. A 5'10" junior from San Dimas, California, number 9, Hannah Newman. And a 5'11" senior from Prescott, Arizona, number 10, the captain, Brett Barney. Your assistant coaches are Dave Richards, Nate Capps, and Lindsey Garrett. And in her 6th season, a graduate of Eastern Washington University. Give it up for head coach, Robin Felder.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our final home game of the year for your Dixie State Lady Trailblazers. With you today always is myself, James Guerin, alongside all of my CEC TV crew. And we're underway here early, as Nelson going to start this one off fast. And that's going to be Casey Adams firing that one in the backfield. And this one's going to sneak in to the back row. And sorry for the late broadcast on my part. A little bit of music going on here early, and that's going to be Sulzma serving that. And that one's going to go just outside the line in the back corner. And Academy of Art finds himself up early here in set number 1. And Nelson keeping this one alive as that one looked like it was going out of play. And that one looked like it may have went out of play, but that one sneaks into the back. And good rally here early on, and that's going to be Lackey Lauren finding the back right corner, getting their first point here in set number 1. Today's match will conclude a 3-game homestand rather for the Trailblazers, as this is the final home game. In case you weren't with us yesterday was senior night. And the Trailblazers came victorious over the number 2 team in Pac West Conference, Azusa Pacific, sweeping them, as a matter of fact. Carrying that momentum today is definitely vital for the Lady Trailblazers as they find themselves going up against a team who is coming in today's match with just 5 wins, but anything can happen as they swept number 2 yesterday. And that one's going to go out of play. And that one's going to go out of play, and point awarded to the Trailblazers. That's going to be Doonan digging it over to Nelson. That one's going to get fired by Chapman, and that one's going to be credited with the kill. Chapman, one of 3 seniors to be honored yesterday. And it's going to be Brandon serving it away. And that's going to be Jacqueline Condi getting a hand on it, but that one getting by as that one hits the backboard. And checking in for Academy of Art is going to be Michaela Charette. Condi starting it off, and this one's going to get over. Good recovery from Condi. And Condi starting it off over to Barney, and this one's going to get lightly hit over again. And that one's going to go way out of play. And the Trailblazers making a little bit of a run of their own. For those of you just joining us, welcome to the broadcast. Always in the Student Activity Center, but it's on a Sunday. First Sunday match of the year. Final home game as the Trailblazers go up against the Urban Knights of Academy of Art. And unable to make that one go back over the net. And that's going to be a Knights point. Ashley Pollock serving for the Knights. And this one's just going to have to be lightly hit over. And that one's going to get blocked. Leading the way, going to be Chapman, assisted by Sorensen. Making noise here early on in set number 1. Thinking that one was going to squeak by, but that was actually Sorensen that got the hand on that one. And that one's going to get fired right at Kara Moore, possibly hitting her in the face. But she's fine. She's going to shake that one off. Lindsay Milner, the serve. And Chapman's going to nearly get this one to fall. The Knights able to recover this one. And coming around the back corner is going to be Chapman, and she fires that one right at Milner. Coming into tonight's match, the Trailblazers come in with a 10-7 Pac-West record, and that one's going to be a service ace. A little bit of miscommunication amongst the Knights, and they come in 12-13 overall. For the Knights, come in with a 2-15 record in Pac-West play, 5-19 overall, and that's going to be a set error. And the Trailblazers, for the first time here in set number 1, take the lead. And Chapman's going to serve it away. Pollock to start it off. And that one's going to get smacked in there. A lot of emphasis on that hit. That one's going to be Safua Elsea. Alana Lucas serving for the Knights. And Sorensen has to lightly hit this one over, nearly hitting the ceiling. And just tipped over the blockers. That's going to be Sulzma. And Sulzma, the leading scorer for the Knights, matter of fact. And it's not even close. Coming into today's match, she 332 points. The next closest player is Johnson with 206 points. So Sulzma definitely the key factor for the Knights' success. That one's going to find Adams. She's going to start it off over to Moore, and Moore setting it just a little bit in front of Sorensen. Sorensen unable to do anything about that one. And 4 straight points for the Knights. And Duden is going to start up over to Moore. Finding the back is going to be Sorensen. The Knights able to recover this one. And Moore with the dig over to Brandon. Sorensen's going to find it again. And that one's going to get blocked, and it looked like it might have been a block error, and Coach Felder's going to take her first time out here in set number 1. A little bit of a slow start, maybe because it's a Sunday. An unusual game day for the Trailblazers. Last home game, for those of you that aren't aware of it. This is the last time all season that you'll be able to catch your Trailblazers at home unless you got the funds to go travel with the team on the road. I sure don't. So this is the last time I'm going to be watching this team. As all season long, it's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot about this team over the season. And we are definitely going to miss our 2 graduating seniors in Jacqueline Condi and, of course, the captain, Brett Barney. For Kayla Chapman, she is graduating, but however, she is just a redshirt junior. So she does have the option to come back next season. I don't have the official call or the information for you at the moment, but I am sure it will be announced sometime following the conclusion of the season. And serving for the Knights is going to be Alana Lucas. And Adams starting this one off. And that's going to be a net violation. Lucas again. And that one's going to go out of the back line. Service error. Just a 1-game road trip for the Knights as they finish up their season. Finish up their season at home against Holy Names and Point Loma. And a couple good blocks from the Knights with the Trailblazers able to recover this one. And Gamble able to just tip this one back over. Trying to improvise. It's going to get tipped again. And Gamble just has to lightly hit this one over. And let's see what the official call on that one was. I didn't quite catch that one. And it looks like it's going to be a block error on Gamble. And Sydney Johnson coming in for the first time here today, replacing Casey Adams. Stulsma serving. And the block by the Knights, catching the Trailblazers off guard. And the Knights playing with a lot of heart. Of course, sitting second to last in the Pac-West standings. But showing that, you know, they're still playing hard. And for some of these, there's one senior on the team. And that one gets tipped. And that's going to fall for a Trailblazer point. That's going to be Jacqueline Condi checking in for Sydney Johnson. Of course, Condi, one of the 3 seniors to be honored in yesterday's match. And that one gets blocked, but good awareness by the Knights to just let this one fall right outside of the line. And the Knights taking advantage so far of every opportunity. These two teams are familiar with each other. The Trailblazers went on the road earlier in the season and swept these Knights 3-0. But a different story so far here in set number one, as the Trailblazers trying to climb their way back. And Brennan unable to get this one over the net. Michaela Charette serving, and Brennan's going to start it off over to Nelson, and this one's going to find Doonan, and does get blocked, but however, it rolled on top of the net and rolled on the side of the Knights and out of play. And that's going to be a Trailblazer point. Carol Moore to serve. Condi over to Moore, and Chapman was a 50-50 ball and rolled back on their side. Pollack to serve, and that's going to be started by Condi over to Moore, and Chapman kind of had to awkwardly hit that one. And now it's going to get tipped back over by Sorensen, and another reset for the Knights. And the Trailblazers just all over the place today, as they don't look like their normal selves. And Coach Felder sees it, and she takes her second timeout here in set number one. Maybe it is the Sunday. And we'll take a 60-second timeout here on the Dixie State Trailblazer Volleyball Network. And welcome back to the Student Activity Center, where the Trailblazers find themselves down big here early in set number one. And that one's going to get fired in by Chapman, and that's the strike that we know from these Trailblazers, setting up the middleman to fire this one in. And Doonan going to serve it over. And Pollack nearly getting this one over, and that one's going to get tipped, and it's going to be Winkler getting her hand on it, but falls on her side. And that one's going to hit the net, and Johnson tried to avoid it, but I think she may have gotten a hand on it, and that one goes out of play. Milner serve for the Knights. And that one goes out of play. Good awareness by Brandon to let that one go out. And Lauren Gamble to check in for Brandon. And Chapman to serve. And this one's going to find the middle of the court. That one's going to be Safua Elisea. And Sorensen hitting this one. It's going to go off the ceiling again. And that one's not going to get back over the net. Good effort by the Knights. And the captain and Nelson check back in for Morin Sorensen. And that one's going to get blocked. The hit by Sulzma gets denied. And Coach Felder, some good words in that second timeout. And Nelson to serve it again. Milner to start it off. And Gamble able to keep this one alive, and that one's going to get hit right back to Milner. And it's going to be Elisea mistiming her jump. And that's going to be Coach Batalon for the Knights taking his first timeout here in set number 1, as the Trailblazers have trimmed the lead to just 4 now. And with that, we'll take a quick timeout and be back here in 30 seconds here on the Dixie State Trailblazer Volleyball Network.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
And short timeout for both teams, as they didn't need the full minute 15. And able to keep this one alive is Nelson, and it's going to go back to Barney, and she's going to flick this one to the back row. Able to find the space and going to fall for a Trailblazer point. They're down by 3 after the slow start. And the low serve just barely beating the net, and that's going to be Pollock. Over to Doonan, and Nelson's going to set this one over to Johnson, and that one almost going out of play. And Johnson getting her first kill of the match. Excuse me, that would be her 3rd kill. My apologies. And that one's going to get blocked, and some life for the Trailblazers now, making a comeback here as they're just trailed by 1. And that's going to be Doonan getting her hand on it. Couldn't quite set it up for her team. And that one's going to hit her statisticians down there and going to go out for a Knights point. And Bailey Sulzma to serve. And Doonan to start off again. Over to Nelson. And this one's going to find Johnson. And she splits the 2 defenders. And she gets another kill. And Johnson to serve it. Going to find Sulzma. And Milner able to recover off of the block. And it looks like it was a set error, and all of a sudden, we're tied. After being down by 9 at one point, the Trailblazers able to climb back into this one and make it a game. And Johnson gets the ace, and they're all fired up over there, as that was a low serve, and Coach Batalon taking his 2nd timeout as he's not happy. And with that, we're going to take a 30-second timeout here on the Dixie State University Trailblazer Volleyball Network.
There is a place where rocks bleed and nature blushes on a battlefield green with envy. where dimples determine destiny, and a tiny wooden tee holds the outcome in the balance. There is a place where friends are opponents, and opponents are friends, where the prize is elusive, the conquest is captivating, and the score isn't settled till the drinks are down. There is a place.
Welcome back to the Student Activity Center, and we're game point here in set number 1, and let's see if Johnson can close this one out. And Sulzman has started off, and that one's going to get blocked and nearly falling. And the Trailblazers get another chance for a kill opportunity, and that one is going to be your set point, and the Trailblazers come back to take set number 1. And what a comeback, as at one point, I believe they were down 19-11, outscoring the Knights 14-4 in that final run. And maybe the Trailblazers have woken up. Coach Felder probably letting them know that let's just finish our homestand strong. Give the fans what they want to see, and what they deserve to see, as the Trailblazers trying to even their record over the season, trying to improve to 13-13. And next season, a lot of these starters are going to be back, of course, losing the captain and Jacqueline Condi. But the Trailblazers have a lot of young talent ready to step in, and we see Sydney Johnson making an impact here early on, as she's leading the way with 5.5 points for the Trailblazers, with 4 kills and an ace, with a hitting percentage of 80%. So making her contribution here early. And set number 2 about to start here in under 2 minutes. And for the Trailblazers, of course, coming off of yesterday's win against Azusa Pacific and Hawaii Hilo, sweeping both of those matches. And on that, we're going to take a 60-second timeout. Coming back here on the Dixie State University Trailblazer Volleyball Network.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
And welcome back to the Student Activity Center. In case you are just joining us, with you today is myself, as always, James Guerin, and our final volleyball broadcast of the 2017 season. And I'm a little sad by that, to be honest. I love watching our volleyball team go at it every week, and in case you are just joining us, they did take set number 1 after a miraculous comeback, for that matter, and Sydney Johnson just all over the place today, getting that kill on that first point and then getting her second ace here in the match, and showing Coach Felder why she should be playing more. And it's going to be Sulzman starting it off, and a little bit of trickery from Lucas, and just a little tip over. And Johnson's going to come out and Jacqueline Condi's going to check in for her. And the Trailblazers pretty good at home, 6-3 on the season. Of course, then, if I'm not mistaken, 4 of those 6 wins have been sweeps. And this one's going to be set up, and Nelson able to recover from the block, and this is going to find Doonan again. Going to get blocked, and Doonan's going to recover quickly. You're blocked again. Good timing by the Knights, as that's 3 in a row, and that one's going to get hit straight off of the ceiling and going to fall for a Trailblazer point. And the Knights traveling extremely light, only bringing 9 players with them of their 14 on the roster. So end of the season, budgets may be running low, so traveling extra light for that matter. And it's going to be Barney trying to keep this one in play, but it looks like it may have been tipped. Her initial reaction wasn't good, and then point was awarded to the Trailblazers. It was a block error. And it looks like that was an attack error. May have been a net violation on that one. And 2 quick points for the Knights as they make this a 1-point game in set number 2. And Doonan to start this off, colliding with Condi, and Barney's going to tip this one to the back row. And that one's going to fall. And tie game here in set number 2. Alisea to serve it over. And mistiming her jump just a hint too early as Chapman and misses the kill opportunity as she was just trying to lightly hit that one over. And there's the timing that she was wanting and gets the kill. Lasering it by the Knights defender. Couldn't quite catch who that was. However, that one falls, and checking in for the Trailblazers, it's going to be Alexa Golding. She serves this one low. And that one is going to fall for a Trailblazer point. They retake the lead. And another low serve, and hard to recover from that. And Brand's going to start it off. This is going to go back over to Doonan. She's going to hit this one back over, and Knight's able to recover. Golding over to Doonan, and Doonan trying to cross court and stays on her side of the net. And checking in for her first appearance is going to be Amanda Robinson, checking in for Doonan. And Charette serving. Low serve. Brandon to start it off. And Chapman's going to get a swing at this one. And that one's tipped over the blockers. The pancake attempt. Save, but no one's able to hit that one back over. And the Knights get their first lead. Excuse me. They regain the lead. And that one's going to go way out of play. And Robinson's going to get her first serve here in today's match. And Chapman's going to get a swing at it. And that one looked like it was a combination hit between Sorensen and Chapman. I believe it was Chapman that got her hand on it. And finding the space. And Robinson again getting another serve. Golding to start up over to Brandon. And this is going to get hit by Sorensen. And Johnson's going to get an opportunity. And double hit. And Johnson applying the pressure on that one. And Robinson serve again. It's going to tip the net. And Pollock hits this one out of play. And Coach Batalon taking his first timeout in set number 2. And the Trailblazers do have that 1-0 lead as they did make that comeback, ending the run on a 14-4 run. And on that note, we'll take a 30-second timeout here on the Dixie State University Trailblazer Volleyball Network.
There is a place where young and old make connections, where kids feel like grown-ups, and grown-ups feel like kids. There is a place where beauty arises in contrast, where wonder is universal, and laughter second nature. There is a place where friends find a future, families find each other, and feelings find their home. There is a place.
And welcome back to the broadcast here in the Student Activity Center on our gorgeous campus at Dixie State University, where your Trailblazers currently have the lead in set number 2, taking the score in set number 1, 25-23, in which a little bit of closer match than I was expecting, and Johnson didn't get the jump that she wanted to and hits this one out of play. And she's leading the team in points right now with 7.5, with 5 kills and 2 aces. And Pollock to serve it over, and Robinson start off over to Golding. And Sorensen hitting that one, and Milner hits the ceiling, and that one comes right back down. Milner maybe awkwardly hit her arm, allowing that one to go straight back up into the ceiling. And Milner able to recover from that block, and Sorensen to Golding, and that one's going to be a kill. And yep, that one's going to be lefty Lauren. Couldn't quite get that one right away. She took off her headband. Helps me recognize who she is, as she is the only one that does wear it. And that's going to be Winkler getting the kill for the Knights. And Milner to serve it away. Johnson to start it off, giving it right back to the Knights. And awkwardly hitting that one as that one hits the out-of-play pole. Having to awkwardly hit that one's going to be Sulzman. And Barney's checking into the game, along with Nelson. Nelson able to recognize that light hit, and Johnson's going to hit that one over. And the big swing by Sulzma gets denied. Leading the way is going to be lefty Lauren. And Nelson to serve. And maybe that one was going out of play, but Robinson was right in the way, and she couldn't avoid that one as that one got hit right at her. And Sulzma getting the kill on that one And Johnson has started off over to Nelson, and there's going to be Gamble, but she gets denied. Another reset for the Trailblazers, and that's going to be Johnson. That one gets denied. Leading the way is going to be Elisea. And Lucas to serve. And Johnson with the big swing, and that one nearly falling down, and Johnson has started again. And Gamble's strike gets denied, and this one's going to find Barney, and lightly hitting that one over. And got their hands on it, but splits through and falls. And on a three-point run here for the Knights, and Lucas is going to serve it again. That one able to sneak by and getting awkwardly hit and unable to adjust. A 1-point game, and Nelson's going to set this one up for Robinson. Robinson's going to tip the net on that one. That one's going to hit off the ceiling, but Milner able to adjust. And Gamble getting the swing on it, gets blocked, and immediately hits her again. And Nelson tried to recover that one. As you can see right here, she tried to avoid it and tie game, but then that one quickly goes away in a service error. And Milner to start off, and Sulzman's going to get a hit, and Brandon's going to be able to dig this one. And that's Johnson from the back row. And Gamble not getting the look she normally gets. And that one's going to get attempted, but goes out of play. And tie game once again. As that was Robinson. Brandon over to Nelson, and this one's going to come back around, and Gamble getting blocked again. And Robinson's going to sneak this one past the blockers, and Milner to start it off again. Pollock lofting it over, and it's going to be Barney getting a hit on this one, and we got a good rally here, and that one's going to go right past Brandon. The falling effort on that one, and the Knights regain the lead. Robinson to start out over to Nelson. This is going to find the captain, and Knight's able to recover. And that one's going to get blocked, and Gamble making an impact. Brandon to serve. Sulzman to start it off. Going to get blocked, and Knight's able to recover. And Brandon with the one-handed effort, and Condi able to keep this one alive. And this one gets switched around in the back, and that one was going out of play, but Condi thought she could make a play on it. Tips it and goes out of play. Elisea to serve for the Knights. And Robinson start out over to Nelson, and Chapman's going to get an opportunity, but the Knights recovering that one, and that one gets hit and stays in play as it was tipped at the line, and Coach Felder going to take another timeout as her team did have the lead and all of a sudden lost it. And with that, we're going to take a 30-second timeout here on the Dixie State University Trailblazer Volleyball Network.
shore overnight, packing 130-mile-an-hour winds, blinding sheets of rain, and a treacherous storm surge.
Harvey can't mess with Texas. So donate now to help make Texas whole again.
Welcome back to the Student Activity Center, and the Knights have a small lead over the Trailblazers, trailing 18-16. And Elisea to start this one. Condi over to Nelson, and Chapman's going to get a big swing at it, and that's going to fall for a kill. And that's a usual sight that we see a lot. And Golding to get a serve here. And Brandon starting it off. And Sorensen's going to get the swing, and Milner tried to dig it, hits the ceiling and comes back down. And Golding again finding Sulzma. It's going to be Chapman recognizing the blockers were going up and just lightly hits this one over just in front of Milner. And Caleb Chapman now the leading point scorer. And that one's going to stay in for an ace. As that one looked like it wasn't going to come down, but it snuck in just inside the line. And a service ace for Alexa Golding. And tipped, and keeping that alive is Condi, and Golding over to Robinson, and that one's going to get blocked. Trailblazers still leading on top. Charette to serve. Robinson start up back over to Golding, and Chapman's going to get a swing, and that one's going to fall after the deflection. And Adams going to check in after her lengthy time on the side, getting a good breather. And Robinson to serve. Sulzman to start it off. And Winkler, she's going to get the kill on that one, splitting the two blockers. And the Trailblazers unable to get a lot of breathing room after having a 6-point lead early on in the set. Trimmed down to just one, and that one's going to get hit off the ceiling again. And Chapman's going to place this one nicely, and it's going to be Lucas catching that one off guard. And Gamble checks in for Brandon. And Sulzma, her strike's going to get denied, and the Knights trying to recover, and that's Sorensen coming in from the back row, trying to set it up for her teammates, but falls short. And there's Adams with the beautiful swing. And that one's going to get hit out of play. And Barney and Nelson checking in for Golding and Sorensen. And this is going to be a timeout by Coach Batalon. as Dixie finds himself 2 points away from taking set number 2. And with the sweep today, that make it 9 straight here at home and improve to 4 wins in a row with the win today rather. And to end the homestand, if they were able to sweep today, sorry, it is a Sunday as well, but I will continue after a 30-second break here on the Dixie State University Trailblazer Volleyball Network.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
In short timeout, we welcome you back to the broadcast, and that block's going to be quickly recovered and able to get that one back over the net. And Gamble to start up over to Nelson. This one's going to get switched over to Casey Adams, and that one's going to bounce right in front of Charette. And you saw that one coming, as it is game point here in set number 2. And Nelson looking to close it out. And Nelson able to recover from that hit, and Robinson hits it just a hint too short of the net. And the Knights still have life. And Adams start off over to Nelson. It's going to go back over to Adams, and she's going to close out set number 2 to take the 25-22 victory. And both sets pretty close. A good competitive game so far. 25-23 was set number 1, and 25-22. As you can see, just the perfection of the hit on that one, and the blockers unable to keep that one in play. And going into the break, of course, the Trailblazers up 2-0. We'd like to thank anybody who is watching on this Sunday, an unusual game day, but we appreciate any of you viewers out there. And this is the last home game of the season for the Trailblazers, concluding a 3-game homestand. Of course, last week, Monday, sweeping Hawaii Hilo, and of course, yesterday, Senior Day, sweeping number 2 team in the conference, Azusa Pacific. And looks like more of that is going to happen today if the cards are played right. Following today's game, their next game is going to be next week Friday at Concordia Irvine, 7 p.m. Pacific time start, and of course Saturday at Biola. And with that, we're going to take a 3-minute break here on the Dixie State University Trailblazer Volleyball Network.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Information on hot water heating.
No. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out the words.
World music, playing track now.
No.
Let me try. Our daughter gets confused about which details in a story are important.
Which paper towels are most absorbent?
What?
Here are 5 product reviews.
Why are you not getting me?
See, I told you.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Recently, our country has witnessed catastrophic devastation. Hurricanes and flooding have upended lives and livelihoods.
Across this great country, Americans have answered the call.
That special calling that compels us, when others are down, to step up and do whatever it takes.
America's at her best when, against all odds, we come together and lift each other up.
Please donate to oneamericaappeal.org. America needs you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Te pondrán a prueba. Te llevarán hasta el límite. Pero no importa cuán fuerte griten o cuántos trocitos de queso vuelen por el aire. Tú eres el conductor, el que está al mando. No te rindas. Resiste. Y arranca solo después de oír el clic del cinturón, porque cada 8 minutos un pasajero de 8 a 14 años resulta lastimado en un choque.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Welcome back to the Student Activity Center, where your Trailblazers have a 2-0 lead, trying to close out for their 3rd straight sweep. And service ace right out of the gates for Nelson. And during halftime, you can't go wrong with Sweet Caroline. That song is just, it's so happy. And I think it brought life to me a little bit, and I was getting into it. And some new faces. And Casey Adams, not a new face, gonna find the back corner in that one. And on the court right now for the first time is gonna be number 17, Ashton Lunt. And Sulzma started off, and that's gonna get blocked, and able to recover that one. Nelson's going to find Lunt, and she's going to hit this one over. And Lunt's going to get a hand on it, but not able to keep that one in play, and going back to the other side. Sulzma to serve. Low serve. Adams able to handle that one, and she's going to get the kill, starting it and then finishing it. And checking in is going to be Jacqueline Condi. That one's going to get blocked, but falling out of play. Alicea to serve. And Nelson's going to set it up for Lunt, and she's going to get the kill for her first kill of the game. And she's going to check out, and Sid Brandon's going to come in. And Chapman able to adjust to the poor set and doesn't even allow it to get back over the net, and she tips that one straight down. And Brandon again gonna find Sulzma in the back, over to Lucas, and Pollock gets blocked and able to keep this one in play. And Gamble leading the way. And Brandon again. Sulzman to start it off. And that's going to be Nelson digging it. Nelson again over to Brandon. And this is going to find Gamble, and that's going to get blocked. Doonan back over to Nelson, and Chapman just going to keep getting touches here. And tipped over is going to be Argolander. Charette serving for the Knights. Brandon a dig. Over to Nelson, and Gamble going to swat this one hard, but out of play. And Charette again. Doing it, and Nelson couldn't quite keep this one in, but let me see what the official call was on that one. Looks like it was an attack error. A little bit of confusion on that one. Service ace was the call. And it's going to be Gamble again, and that one's going to go back over the net. Looked like it might have stayed on the side, but I guess that one went back over the net. And Winkler hitting that one to Golding, and Condi's going to set that one up. And Chapman able to keep it alive. Golding adjusting to the hit off the ceiling. Getting her first swing at it. It's going to be Savannah Ibsen. Her first look in today's game. And the Trailblazers probably thought that one was going out of play. Thought it was out of play. However, does sneak in. That was a good rally. And Ashley Pollock. And Chapman getting a swing on it, and now it's going to get blocked. Trying to adjust to it, but unable to return that one over. Pollock again. Low serve. Chapman over to Golding, and Doonan has to lightly hit it over. And that one's going to get blocked, but Milner able to recover. And Ibsen going to get the kill on that one. And it's going to be Adams coming in for Condi. Doonan serving. Sulzman to start it off, and Sulzman's going to finish it, but the Trailblazers is able to return it. And that's going to be Ibsen again, getting her second kill. And I have two different scores. I have the 9-8 that you see on the screen, but online I have it at 10-7. There's that confusion earlier. And that's going to be Golding finding the back corner. And if you are following along online, just know that it is 10-8 Dixie. And Ibsen getting another swing at it. And Doonan to start it off over to Golding. And you know it. Casey Adams getting the kill on that one. And Doonan over to Sulzma, starting it and finishing it again. And that one's going to get hit, but going out of play. In a service error by Milner. It's going to be Chapman starting it off, and that's going to be Lunt coming back in, and she's going to set it up, and she's going to get the kill. That one's going to get blocked by Ibsen, but going to go out of play, and Chapman's going to check out of the game, and Brandon's going to come in for her. And Adams will start off over to Golding, and Doonan's going to get a hit at it. That one's going to stay in play, and Brandon with the diving effort. Adams over to Golding, and it looks like it was a set error by Golding. Lucas to serve, Adams to start it, and it's going to be Ibsen sneaking this one past Milner. And that's going to find the back corner. It's going to be Milner starting it off. And that one was going out of play, but Duden's reaction was to go after it. Sulzma, the serve. And Gamble putting too much power behind this one. And tie game here in set number 3. The Trailblazers, of course, trying to bring their brooms out for the 3rd straight game. And Nelson able to dig this one, and this is going to be Lefty Lauren, and she's going to get the kill on that one. It's going to be Condi serving it away. And that one's going to get blocked, and Ashton Lunt leading the way. Assisted by Lauren Gamble. In a low set, but able to improvise. And Lunt's going to get another kill. As the new face is making an impact. And that's going to be timeout for Coach Battleon. And The Trailblazers 8 points away from taking set number 3, ending their three-game homestand. And with that, we'll take a 60-second timeout on the Dixie State University Trailblazer Volleyball Network. Coming out of the timeout rather quickly, not taking the full 75 seconds. And the Knights able to keep this one after it going out of play. And Doonan tried to keep that one in. Mistimed it just a hint too early. Alisea to serve. It's going to be Nelson. And it was a bad set error as it was called a lift. Brandon over to Condi, and it's going to be Doonan hitting it over. And that one's going to stay in play. Looked like it could have went either way. And we got a tie game. And Brandon over to Nelson. This is going to find Gamble in trying to cross court. And the Knights regain the lead. Brandon over to Nelson. This one's going to find Doonan, and she's going to hit that one out of play. And Coach Felder takes a timeout after 4 straight points from the Knights. Trailblazers taking the first 2 by scores of 25-23 and 25-22, and looks like it's going to be the same score as both these teams going back and forth in set number 3, trying to get 3 sweeps in a row. And it would be a phenomenal finish for them if they could get that. As you sweep 3 games in a row, you're doing something right. Going into the 2-game road trip to end the season on a high note. And your leading point scorer for the Trailblazers is Kayla Chapman with 11.5 points, 10 kills, an ace, and a dig with a 40% hitting percentage. And we'll stay right here for the next 10 seconds. We apologize for the sound cutout, as we are streaming on YouTube and have to follow their rules. And Alisea and Condi to dig that one. This is going to find Sid Johnson, and her attempt's going to get blocked. And a point for the Knights. Brandon over to Nelson, and this is going to find Sorensen, who's going to find Alisea. And kind of the punch effort from Argelander, and Condi able to have good awareness on that one, allowing that one to go out of play. And Brandon's going to serve this one. And Pollock thought there might have been a tip on that, but that one goes out of play. And Brandon's going to serve once again. And Sulzman has started off. And miscommunication between the teammates, and tied game again. And Brandon serving it over. Sulzman has started off. And getting the kill is going to be Argelander, splitting the two blockers. And checking in is going to be Charette for Argelander. And that block is going to go out of play. Golding to serve it over, and the Knights able to recover and nearly getting the hit over. Getting her first action today is going to be Jadra Thurber. The first time I've said that name all season. Some new faces as set number 3 concludes. Going to be Connie to Golding, and that one's going to get hit by Ibsen. And Brandon unable to return this one back over. And the Knights are 2 points away from taking set number 3 for that matter. And that was a low serve by Pollock. And Casey Adams is going to check into the game. Game plan, go to her to end set number 3 and to get the sweep. And Johnson serving it over. And that one getting tipped over, and Johnson couldn't set up her teammates. And we're at game point. And Lindsay Milner trying to get her team on the board with their first win here in the match. Adams has started off over to Golding, and Ibsen getting tipped on that one. And it looks like it might have been a block error, and there's set number 3 concluded. So maybe the announcers jinx on that one, but the Trailblazers don't get the sweep. We do have to play set number 4. And the Knights still battling. Nothing to lose for them. Neither team out of the playoff picture. However, trying to get some respect from the rest of the league. And the official call for that final point it would be a block error by Thurber. And now the Trailblazers lead 2-1. With the conclusion of today's games, it would be the final game of all the fall sports, as football concluded yesterday and soccer ended last week. And, on that note, it's been a good fall season, and we'll be back here in 90 seconds in the Student Activity Center on the Dixie State University Trailblazer Volleyball Network.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, babe.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
And welcome back to the Student Activity Center, where the Trailblazers fell to the Urban Knights 25-22 in set number 3. So a sweep not happening today. And Casey Adams getting her first kill here in set number 4. And Adams going to serve her first serve of the match. And that one's going to get denied. Leading the way is going to be Gamble, assisted by Doonan. Actually, that looked like it may have stayed on their side of the net. And Sulzma serving, and Nelson's going to set her teammate up, and that's going to be Gamble striking it over. That one's going to go back over the net for a block, and that one's going to be Gamble. Elisea to serve for the Knights. Doing to start up over to Nelson, and Chapman's going to get a swing at it, and that one's going to get blocked and falls for a Knights point. Elisea serving it again, and that one's going to go out of play. And Barney and Nelson are going to check out, and Moore and Sorensen are going to check in. And Argelander's strike gets denied. Led by Chapman. And that one couldn't quite get the roll over the net. And a service error by Kara Moore keeps this game tied. And an adjustment misjudged by Charette as she didn't know whether to bump it or set it, and that one gets hit right at her. And immediately she knew that she should have just bumped it up in the air. Hannah Doonan a serve. And that's going to be a service ace, and Pollock didn't get the hit that she wanted to. Brandon over to Sorensen. Sorensen hit's going to get blocked. More back over to Chapman. And it looks like it was a bad set was the call. And Pollock to serve. And Adams is going to find the hole. And that one's going to hit the line and stay in as it was tipped. And Trailblazers on a little bit of a run. That one gets tipped, and Gamble able to keep this one up, and an attack error. And that stops the run, and Milner's going to serve it over. And there it is. You see her run up and swing, and it's most likely going to fall. As that one goes just to the right of, I believe it was Charette on that one. And Nelson going to serve it over. Pollock to start it off. Over to Lucas, and that one's going to get tipped and out of play. And Dune's going to hit this one from the back row. Nelson to start up over to Brandon, and Barney's going to get a hit at it. And there's Adams once again getting another kill, and she's going to stay in the game to serve. And blocking that one, but coming right off the ceiling, and the Knights not able to recover from that one. And Coach Batalon taking a timeout here in set number 4. And with that, we'll be back in 60 seconds here on the Dixie State University Trailblazer Volleyball Network.
There is a place where rocks bleed and nature blushes on a battlefield green with envy, where dimples determine destiny and a tiny wooden tee holds the outcome in the balance. There is a place where friends are opponents and opponents are friends, where the prize is elusive, the conquest is captivating, and the score isn't settled till the drinks are down. There is a place.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I know,
that
I
was.
heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
And welcome back to the Student Activity Center, where your Trailblazers have a 5-point lead here in set number 4, as the Trailblazers just fell short of taking the sweep here. And it looks like that's going to be a set error on Nelson. And Adams, the dig over to Nelson, and Dunan's going to two-hand hit this one over. And Barney nearly touched it. She thought she actually might have touched it, but the refs didn't. I guess it didn't hit her, and it goes out of play. And the big windup by Elisea. Adams started up over to Nelson, and it's going to find the captain, and her kill stays on the other side of the net. And more. Gonna get the ace on that one. And more again. Brandon started off back over to Moore, and Sorensen's gonna get a powerful hit on that one. Moore over to Brandon, and that one set out of play and over the net, and Doonan couldn't do anything about it. It's going to be Charette serving it over. And Chapman gets the hit, gets blocked, but it goes out of play. And a 6-point lead now for the Trailblazers. And Doonan to serve it over. And Sulzma getting the strong hit right at Doonan, but Doonan gets one hand on it, goes right by her. Pollock to serve. And Brandon started off over to Moore, and Chapman's going to get a swing at it. Gets blocked, deflecting off of Sorensen. And point for the Knights. And that's going to be a service ace for Pollock, and that one comes up short. And Pollock again to Brandon, and Moore's going to set it up for Adams, and it was a bad set as Adams kind of had to stutter on that one to adjust to it. And a 2-point game all of a sudden here in set number 4. Doonan over to Moore, and there's Adams getting the swing on it, but the Knights don't get beat by it this time. And Brandon's going to set up Sorensen, and she's going to try and find the left side of the court in the open space. However, that one does go out of play. And Coach Felder is going to take a timeout as the teams are now back and forth once again after the convincing lead for a little bit. And the Trailblazers trying to walk away, ending their homestand. And with that, we'll be back in 30 seconds here on the Dixie State University Trailblazer Volleyball Network.
There is a place where young and old make connections. Where kids who like grown-ups. And grown-ups who like kids. There is a place where beauty arises in contrast. Where wonder is universal. And laughter second nature. There is a place where friends find a future. Families find each other. And feelings find their home. There is a place.
Welcome back to the Student Activity Center, where your Trailblazers have a 1-point lead in set number 4. Taking the first 2 sets, and then the Knights able to win set number 3 to avoid the clean sweep. And the final home game of the year on a Sunday afternoon, not a usual game day. And Pollock to serve it over to Doonan. And Sorensen able to make the good recovery on that one. And that's going to get hit right at Brandon and unable to make that one playable. And Pollock's going to get another ace. And Condi's going to check in for Doonan. And Pollock getting a lot of action in this serving series, as they're on a 7-0 run right now. But that one's going to go out of play, tying it back up again. And Winkler's going to hit this one right to Moore. And Sorensen just no kill opportunity, just has to hit this one lightly over. And the Knights follow back with the same thing. And that one's going to go splitting the defenders, and that's going to be Sorensen awarded with the kill on that one, and they regain the lead. As I thought that one was going over to Adams, but Sorensen instead. And that one's going to get blocked, and it's going to go out of play, and Milner upset at herself. Sulzman to start it off, and she's going to finish it and recover from her block, and that's going to be Gamble capitalizing on the pop-up, and Coach Battleon going to take a timeout after on a 7-0 run. Now finds his team down by 3 here in set number 4. And not much adjustments that you can do with the small team. And with that, we'll be back in 30 seconds here on the Dixie State University Trailblazer Volleyball Network.
Tonight, along the Texas Gulf Coast, utter devastation. Harvey barrels ashore overnight, packing 130-mile-an-hour winds, blinding sheets of rain, and a treacherous storm surge.
Harvey can't mess with Texas. So donate now to help make Texas whole again.
Welcome back to the Student Activity Center, where your Trailblazers have a 3-point lead in set number 4, and Kayla Chapman to serve this one over. And finding the middle is going to be lefty Lauren, sneaking that one in, all defenders. Four points away from taking this game. And the crowd not liking that one, as it may have hit the line. Lindsay Milner to serve. And here we go. And Gamble's going to get a hand on it, but that one's going to fall back on her side and fall for a Knights point. It's going to be Condi over to Moore, and there's Adams getting the big swing on it. It's going to be Brandon back over to Moore. Going to find Sorensen, and she's going to get this one to fall. Blistering by Milner. It's going to be Nelson serving. And Pollock to start it off. Over to Lucas. And that one's going to get denied. And the Trailblazers 2 points away from closing out the series. And Nelson looks like she wants to end this one. That one's going to get tipped, and Condi not tall enough, but I don't think anybody could have gotten there to stop that one, as that one did get deflected. And Coach Felder can't believe it, and her face in amusement as she's laughing at that one. And Adams was right there to make the play, and it looked like she was initially going to play it, but instead thought that one was going out. But it doesn't matter. She comes back and fires that one in. And Adams going to get possibly the final serve of the game. Game point. And Gamble getting a hand on it, but it's going to pop this one backwards. And Adams started off over to Nelson, and the captain getting a hand on it, but the Knights able to recover. And Brandon to set up Barney, and she wants to end her final home game on a strong note, and it looks like they're setting her team up. It's going to be Doonan firing this one in, and there you have it. Game, set, match. And they take this game by 3 sets to 1, 25-23, 25-22, falling set 3, 25-22, and winning set 4, 25-22. So all 4 games really competitive, close matches, a lot of heart shown from the Urban Knights. as they fall to 2-16 in Pac West play, 5-20 overall. And your Trailblazers even their record overall to 13-13 and 11-7 in Pac West play. And that concludes the final home game for the Lady Trailblazers and the volleyball team. However, not the last game for me, as women's basketball is starting up here on the 17th. And of course, I'll be on the call for that one alongside with James Peterson. And overall, this team has improved over the course of the season. And I'm sure Coach Felder can see that, along with all the fans who have been with us all season long. And I would stay, but that's my cue from the music. Thank you for watching us all season long on the Dixie State University Trailblazer Volleyball Network. For myself, James Guerin, I thank you for all your time. And for the rest of our CEC crew, we thank you. And that's going to do it for us. Aloha.